Hi, welcome back to Lakeside Farm. Today I want to talk about how to realistically make goats a business. I realized if you're going to keep goats and you want to make money out of it, there are certain things you need to do and certain things you need to realize. First, you have to think about who you are selling your goats to or how to do value addition. For example, I'll tell you, a goat in my hands will still be worth 250 or 400,000. But the same goat on a plate at Cafe Java's can fetch you 700 or even 800,000. You need to stop thinking middleman, slaughter market. Go to Kumbuzi in Gayaza. Guys are slaughtering meat and roasting. You can actually tap into that. There are so many ways to do value addition. You can roast. There's a restaurant on Atentebe Road. I went there and got Luombo and some little food is 30,000. That's value addition. If the people can do it in those other places, why can't we also think about those things? The challenge is that we don't want to think out of the box and always want to depend on the market that is already there. Keep my goats, sell to the people who are slaughtering, take them to Rufla. Another detriment to goat farming is land. People don't make good sense out of goat farming because they do not have land. Truth be told, you cannot graze goats on a 50 by 100. We were doing zero grazing at first, but we were forced to move and come here where there is land where goats can graze. Goats know how to select their own nutritional food because the land is large. Zero grazing for goats is a big challenge if you don't have land. But if you have land, it is very easy for you to send your goats out there. They will select whatever they want to eat from that area. They browse, they graze, they eat this and that. They know how to pick their own nutritional foods, and that will help you grow the numbers, because actually in goat farming also numbers make sense. If you're going to sell 2 goats at 150 each or 200 each, that's about 400 or 300,000. That's a challenge. That money cannot do a lot. So what you have to do is have big numbers. If you're deciding to sell about 50, 40, 20, or even 15. And that money can be able to help you to plan very well, maybe reinvest or do something bigger. But if you're doing zero grazing, it's very hard for you to accumulate numbers. And without numbers, you are not going to make good business sense. Why goats don't make good business sense to some people is people getting excited. They start on zero grazing and then they have to spend a lot of money on those goats. Imagine you spending about 200,000 on a goat up to when it gets to maturity. And when it gets to maturity, someone comes and they want to give you 250,000. But you've had this goat for over 2 years, it has consumed all that money, and someone is giving you the same amount of money. So how are you going to make sense? Because if you're keeping goats on a small piece of land and it's on zero grazing, you have to supplement. That means you have to buy feeds. And there is also reinfection of worms and diseases all the time because the place is small. You are going to spend money on drugs. You are going to spend money on vets. By the time the goat grows to maturity, you have almost finished all the money that goat would fetch. And when you sell it, you are not even breaking even, but you're just making a loss because there is no way you can keep an animal for 2 years or a year and then all the money it has eaten is what you're getting. You're wasting money and you're wasting time. When you're on a bigger area, you send your goats out to graze and feed. They will graze themselves and their nutrition will be good. So you don't have to spend a lot of money supplementing them. You only do the supplementation when it is needed. Don't just go into goat farming because you have been excited by someone. Because yes, some of us may tell you things and you get excited. Oh, I also want to start goat farming. But hey, before you get into it, just like any other business, know that it has its own challenges. There are many advantages, but also the challenges are there. A lot of people started out of excitement and a lot of people have been seeing messages. People have given up. Why? Because they started out of excitement. They did not get to understand the exact way of doing this. There are things you need to put in place and understand. Land is very important. You must keep goats on some sizable amount of land. But if it's a small piece of land and someone is telling you, oh, you can put them on 50 by 100, just throw leaves there, goats eat everything. Yes, goats are greedy animals naturally, I know that. They will eat everything, but not everything is beneficial to them. They are not getting any nutritional values out of whatever you're throwing. But when they go out there, just by instinct, they know what to pick, and that is what will make them healthy, and tomorrow you'll be able to make money out of them. But I'll tell you, if you are doing it the right way, goats can fetch you good money. In a year, you have 4 babies. And those 4 babies, let's say that each baby is going to give you 150,000. On a minimum, 150,000 when it's matured and ready to be slaughtered. Yes, I know it involves a lot of work, going to the farm, taking care of the goat, but this is what work means. You are not going to throw money somewhere and wait for it to accumulate. No, don't be like that servant who was trusted with a talent and they hid it. So when you get your money and buy these goats and you have good land and you're taking good care of it, and you have 4 babies in a year, that means each baby is going to give you a minimum of 150,000. That's 600,000. And let's say you spend about 100,000 on raising them, or 200,000, yes. You will remain with a balance of 400,000. But you have to know how long has it taken you to grow this goat. How much have you spent on this goat? That means money you're spending on labor, money you're spending on medication, money you're spending on anything that goes on at the farm. What I'm trying to tell you is be resilient, focus, think out of the box. How can I create money out of these goats? Who am I going to sell to? Don't sell to anyone who is just coming, oh, I want goats, and you sell. No, look for the highest bidder, someone who's giving you something reasonable. That's all I wanted to share about how to make serious business from goat farming. Until next time, see you then.